The B, the A, the C, the K, the S, the P, the I, the N, T, V.
First of all, it's an honor to meet you. My first question will be like, I heard in another interview that you did that while doing this movie that you kind of like was more listening to into the music of your son. Was it the first time that you really like got into his music, or because you said it was pretty filthy and this and that?
I'm not a rap person. I resented rap. My son told me prior that I was not to listen to his music, so I never listened to his music. But after his death, there were so many things going on in his life. You know, people were loving him, and, you know, I said, I have to listen to the music. And then one day I sat in my family room and I put everything on, from Juicy to the second album, and the tears were just flowing. I discovered that, yes, it was filthy, but he was a beautiful storyteller. You know, I listened to them and I said, wow, why couldn't he put this here instead of a profanity? Couldn't you just use a little word instead of the big word? But I appreciated his talent. I appreciated him because he was a great poet.
Didn't you like? How did you receive like his success from the first album? Wasn't you like, not that much interested?
No,
at that time? No?
That was his world. It wasn't my world. I was teaching. He told me this is what he wanted to do. I never understood it, and I never wanted to, because you know it's his world. You know, I have a different world. You know, your son is a doctor. You're not going to go in and put your nose, he's a politician. You're not going to go there, you know, whatever it is. I have my profession, and, you know, he had his. So I gave him the respect.
During the making of the movie, or when you saw the whole movie, did you see like, or did you discover different sides of your son that you didn't know before?
I learned, I would say, I never knew my son. You know, in the movie, during the process, I turned around to so many of the producers, and, you know, Wayne, who was his manager, Mark, who was another one of the manager, even Puffy, Damien, and I asked, did he really do that? Did that happen? And all they could say, some said no, some said yes, and they looked at me, they said, that was your son. You know, so I had to accept it, but it hurt. It hurt because I found out things about my son I never knew.
I kind of noticed that you was really shocked about the relationship with Little Kim. You said in an interview with Angie Martinez, and you said, I would like to meet her and talk with her about it.
Yes, because Little Kim is a beautiful, or was a beautiful, the Little Kim I knew, mwah, you would love her to death. Beautiful little girl, kind, gentle, very, very sweet. Little raunchy, but like I said, the music part is not my forte. And I would love to meet with her because I found out that, you know, she loved my son. She loved my son. And I wanted to apologize to her, you know, for the way my son treated her, if that's the way my son treated her. She read the script. So evidently she approved of what was going to be shown on the big screen. So I wanted to really see her one-to-one, face-to-face, and ask, did these things really happen? How did you feel? You know, tell me what my son was thinking, you know, when he did these things. What were you doing? What were you saying? You know, I really wanted to talk to her like a mother.
What was your relationship in general with all the other, like Junior, like Little Caesar or D-Rock, who used to hang out with your son, like in the beginning, who got him into the drug game, got him out of the drug game?
Those boys, those men, they were my son's friends. They're not my friends. They respected me as a mother, and I respected them as a human being, my son's friend, who should take their lives where Christopher left it and move on. Make me be proud of them and what they've accomplished since my son is not around to help them. So I gave them respect. We spoke once in a while. I'm not going to say they are my friends. They call me every week. No, they don't. Maybe once in a while, maybe once every 3 months, once every 6 months, once every year.
Okay.
You know, but I have a great deal of respect for them, and I wish them well.
After your sons passed away, like, did you own the rights to all his stuff or to his music? And what is your relationship with Puffy?
We, not all the rights. The family, at this point, owned the majority of the rights because he left. There's a family here. You know, he has 2 beautiful, beautiful children, and so I fought for whatever I needed to get. And I got it.
Okay. The East Coast, West Coast beef is a big part, of course, of the movie and of the whole thing that happened. When did you discover, did you notice in his career when this whole thing started what was happening? Or like, did you get this whole East Coast, West Coast? Did you understand what was going on?
I honestly don't feel there was an East Coast, West Coast beef. The media did that. Between Puffy's business and Suge Knight's business, they were businessmen. Maybe one was competing for one coast, maybe the other was competing for the other coast. My son said to me once that the rap game was worse than the drug game. Those were his words. And he said, Mom, you know the saddest thing about it is, there is enough to go around for everyone. All I'm doing is to get mine and make sure I do it well. And for a young man, that was just a beautiful thought and a beautiful conviction. The East Coast, West Coast, they make it what it is. Christopher never made it what it is.
2 questions. I mean, in general, like, actually, like, the American dream killed your son. I mean, he came out of the drug game, he made it on a righteous way or with his music, and he got killed through that. Did you ever thought about that? Like, you know, actually he accomplished all the dreams that everybody wants to have.
I don't know if the American dream killed him. I don't think he was killed, you know, because he was pursuing the dream. He pursued the dream, he accomplished it, and for some reason, something bad took it away from him. Now, if he was here today, I don't know. I knew he would be extremely successful, but the dream never killed him. He accomplished his dream. He reached that pinnacle in his life.
Last question. I mean, Biggie is considered one of the greatest of all time. People still are kind of hypnotized by his music and everything. Could you ever understand like what was so special that he could like touch people like he did?
I think he touched people because of his honesty. His honesty in telling a story. Doesn't matter how terrible the story was, how grotesque it was believable. It was understandable. And when he was telling it, you could live it, you could envision it. And I think that's why he was so respected and so liked and so loved.
Okay. I want to thank you.